me, good morning.
You're listening to Bang 103.6.
Hi, I'm Yinka and I'm a presenter for Rinse FM, and I play a mixture between popular and underground music like grime and garage, house, hip hop, you name it, as long as it's not pop.
Hi, I'm Marcus Bronzy. I'm Weekend Breakfast presenter on Capital Extra. Blam!
I'm Sanika and I'm the presenter at Represent Radio. I do the drive time show 5 to 7 and I play a mix of stuff really, from chart stuff, R&B, hip hop, a little bit of house, a little bit of bashment, not too much, but yeah, I like to play variety.
I'm Nadia J. I play everything. Bashment, house, soca, everything. He plays country.
In 1984, there was an Orwellian prediction by pop star David Bowie. In the title of his song, Video Killed the Radio Star. 30 years later, it would appear that couldn't be further from the truth, as we are now seeing a new resurgence in radio audiences and the appetite for radio, given the new strides made in new technologies. In the age of the smartphone, radio can count itself as one of its main beneficiaries, now accessible to millions on their handheld devices. Also causing an increase in the amount of radio outlets, smaller stations are starting to compete with the larger and more well-funded counterparts.
Disclosure featuring Sam Smith with Latch there. Before that, some Zinc with Show Me. The time is 25 minutes past 10 and you are locked into Yinka and Friends on Rinse FM. And Tony is here. Good morning, Tony.
The general public believe that you have to essentially sell out to make it in the radio world. I'm not saying that Choice sold out at all. Larger stations play a song, they pay the artist then comes onto the station to plug whatever, they get more listeners, so on and so forth, and the cycle continues. Whereas a smaller station will play an album track, not the lead single. You can't really buy that album track unless the album's out and you buy the album. They'll play music from people who are up and coming, unsigned artists, lower level in terms of commercial success artists. And it depends on what you want to hear. I don't think that you have to sell out in order to make it big, but it just depends on what your listeners want. Listeners will listen to whatever they want to listen to.
I think smaller stations are in a great position because they do have very loyal listenership. In terms of catching up with bigger stations, anything's possible, So there was a pirate station called Kiss, Get Me, once upon a time. That's clearly not pirate anymore. Station at Capital Extra used to be, Choice, that clearly was not as a commercial station initially. So it's possible for stations to grow all the time. It's an exciting time as well because of digital, because of the online radio presence, internet, the fact that there's so many different ways of accessing radio. It means that it's a much more level playing field.
Why is it now that radio is a relevant media form? Through all the different changes in technologies, many other avenues of media have developed, and radio still remains a very key part of that.
If a bad week, my better or worse is coming up after the next couple of tracks, so don't go anywhere. This is What's Up by Mr. Silver. Then, I did an online show for about 2 years, then I left to go to uni, and then basically I sent a lot of emails, just kept at it, did a show reel, and then went for a face-to-face interview, and then here I am. As a presenter, my favourite thing I think is, I love music, so obviously radio is music, and I think as well, because I'm not really a camera kind of person, so the fact is you can sort of be behind the mic, they can't see you but they can hear you, which I love. And as a listener, I guess it's just, you can listen wherever you want, you can do things whilst listening, it's not like TV.
Turn around in radio is real quick, like if something happened now, for example, if Rihanna, I don't know, threw water on one of her audience members, we could talk about it on radio in 5 minutes. That couldn't get broadcast on TV as quickly. And we could have a discussion as well. It's very intimate as well, I like radio. People listen to it in a bath, in their car, at home.
To be really organic, whereas now I feel like stations are like, it's just, like Choice FM, there's nothing.
What's Choice FM?
It's now distant, like Choice FM, the organic, like you knew who was who when the presenter came on. It was just, the music was, DJs used to play hot tracks no matter what, like no matter what station it was. Now when you get to more national radio, it's very generic. So that's what I miss. I miss the randomness. Bring it back, Ralph, bring it back.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Given the popularity of social media, there has been a rise of a new type of listener, the internet troll. This has become a problem for modern day radio presenters as they've now become a target of abusive messages online.
Yeah, I'm feeling like a little celeb. The Pixage is hilarious. At We Are Bang Radio, it will be on the Twitter.
During the show, hope to get a few listeners now. It's all about text, tweet, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. They're just great ways.
All my silent listeners, I forgot. I love you guys. I always shout out my silent listeners. And I know one of them I don't tell you. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Some people have called me. That was weird. Which is not really weird because that's how people used to do it back in the day.
That's offensive.
And Bangberry. Actually, every medium, I'm quite lucky. I get really
What's the
lots of love.
Bangberry for?
The Bangberry is the BlackBerry with a bang. That's what it is.
I do the same, more or less. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, phone. Yeah.
With new social media platforms, has it become more difficult to screen audience interaction? Have you received any disturbing/negative comments?
Well, I think that for every one person who doesn't like you, there's 100 more who think that what you're doing is great, and there's a million more who couldn't care less about what you're doing. It's all about ratios and proportions. If you allow that one person to, in your mind, to become more important than the 100 people who like you and the million people who haven't heard of you, then it's your problem, it's not their problem. Because for me, internet trolls, or whatever people want to call them, sit in their bed sits with their dirty bed covers, listening to their little radio with the hanger as an aerial, waiting for you to say something that is wrong, so that then they can then feel better about themselves and say something bad about you. I haven't really received that much bad interaction, to be honest. Some negative things. I think there's been like 2. You were there for one of them, but it's not. I don't see it as. You can't let them get to you.
It will come back. She's on a vegan diet, everyone. I'm just her spokeswoman. She's told me. No, I'm joking. It's on her Insta. Anyway, my juice is it alright that Miley Cyrus can gyrate on a married man at the MTV Music Awards? Yeah, someone was like, why are you talking about Outkast? Because there was juice. Apparently one of them had naked pictures of the other. And I was like, listen, you don't need to get upset with me. It's not my fault. That's what it said. Even though I said apparently as well as the thing. When you write certain things and say certain things, you have to make it apparent. And it was fun. My friend really enjoyed the juice that day, and she was just hating. But no, other than that, it's fine. Lots of people respond quite.
Yeah.
They're quite receptive.
Oh, okay. Let's go back in time. Right. It is Easter 2013. And Rinse hold a rave. They hold quite a few. They hold an Easter bank holiday rave. I think it might be on Good Friday or something. And I'm in the rave, we've worked, then we get to party after. Fast forward to Christmas, somebody texts the Rinse text line, and this is probably the closest to verbatim I've ever been in my life. It was like, hi Yinka, you barged me at the Rinse rave in Easter. I really hated your guts, but since listening to your show, I find that you're not a bitch, you're actually quite nice. Keep it up. Now, it wasn't me that barged this person. It was actually a friend of mine who looked a bit like me. And it was just a bit weird, and I on air, I spoke about it without the swear word, obviously. And I spoke about it, and I said, yeah, shout out to, I can't remember her name now, she left her name and everything on the text line. When was this? Like, what do you mean I barged you? Like, what are you talking about? I'm a nice person. I don't barge people because they might stab me, or slap me, or shout at me. I'm easily intimidated. So, and she then was like, you were wearing this, like she remembered what I was wearing, like, so I was speaking and she was texting in, and she was like, you were wearing this, you were doing this, like blah, 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 blah. In the end, it was my friend who actually barged her, but she was like, by the end of it, she was just like, yeah, I don't like you again. And I was like, all right, stop listening to my show. Go away.
Wow.
It was a bit.
As the newspaper industry dwindles, Darwin's theory of evolution has never been more apparent than now, in the times of new media and new technology. Radio has proved flexible and moved with the times. Its ability to adapt has seen it thrive